Welcome to Elliotts PT Podcast. I'm here to help you find your balance and live your best life guilt-free. I don't believe there is a one-size-fits-all approach for health and fitness. We're all different and we need to find out what works for us. I'm passionate about helping people make realistic, long-term lifestyle changes that they will stick to and they will take with them forever. I don't believe in crazy diets or short-term fixes. We all need to live and find a perfect balance in diet and exercise that suits our individual needs. I want to help you find your exercise mojo, feel great and achieve wonderful things. Here is Elliotts PT Podcast by Renae Elliott. Hello and welcome back to Elliotts PT Podcast. So today I have a guest here in the studio, I guess, and it's Julianne. She is a member of Elliotts PT. So I thought it would be good to get her in and to talk about her experience with Elliotts PT. How long have you been here for?
I think about 6 months.
Has it been 6 months? Cool, I was wondering about that. So I thought it would be good that you could start off with telling everyone a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, sure. As Renae said, my name's Julianne. I'm in my early 50s and a mum of 3 adult children. And I guess I've had a bit of a lifelong struggle with weight and exercise. My weight has crept up over the years. And I hadn't ever been a lover of exercise. Over the years, I've been a member of various different gyms and tried personal training, all kinds of things, but just never found anything that I loved and could stick to.
Yes. So that's the thing that I guess I find most exciting is that that was your first words to me when you first started looking at coming, and we're 6 months down the track, and so you are consistently exercising weekly. And you really don't miss any sessions now. Well, not that you ever did, but not that you did with here. So what was tell people what was your view on exercise before you started here?
I guess it was just something that I knew I should do more, but I never really got that sense of enjoyment out of it. I never really looked forward to it. I never really made the time for it in my day.
Yep.
And so it was always just a struggle of feeling like it was something I should do, but wasn't excited about it at all.
Yeah. And I think you said you found it hard, like putting yourself first with when your kids were growing up.
Yeah. Life is busy.
Yeah.
And I think like many mums, our health and exercise come after everything else.
Yeah. I remember you saying it's time for me now.
Yeah.
When you first started.
Yep.
So, what is your view now on exercise?
Well, I think I'm just about hooked on it. I have to say I do enjoy it now. I look forward to my sessions, and if for some reason I can't get in, I actually miss it now. So I didn't know that I would ever say that.
You've got the bug now.
Yeah. So, definitely enjoying it.
Yeah, I love that. What do you think's changed? Like, what do you think changed that's made you, from someone before that couldn't commit to anything to now that you make it a priority in your life?
I think it's a few things, but one of the things is that it's a great environment to exercise in. So I love the small class setting, and I love that there's other people there, so there's some social interaction, as opposed to the gym where you come in and just do some sort of a program by yourself. So I love the camaraderie of the group classes. I love that there's exercise to suit any ability level, so most of the exercises will have sort of an easier and some harder versions in it. And also the ability to adjust if there were any injuries. I love that I actually haven't had injuries here, and I think that's testament to you and Helena watching out for good technique, because I know that I definitely have had injuries in the past when I've tried to
at somewhere else.
Tried at other places. I found that I got injuries and then couldn't continue, so I like that that sort of stuff would be corrected before an injury occurred. And I just think it's got a really friendly feel about it. Small groups so that you're not lost in the crowd. Nice. I actually really like that when we have music on, it's encouraging, but it's not blasting everybody. I like that it's a nice cool room. I don't really love the heat, so it's nice and cool, and there's plenty of airflow when you're exercising. So there's lots of things that I like about it.
Because I remember when you started, you were thinking, you weren't sure whether, you remember you just tried the groups, you were like, I'm not sure, then you surprised yourself.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, actually, you tried the groups and you tried one-on-one.
Yeah.
You're like, actually, I like the
really
groups.
do like the groups.
Yeah, which I think that's great. I think
Yeah.
it's good that you, you tried both and then you were like, actually, I'm surprised myself. Because I think you were nervous. Were you nervous?
I was worried I wouldn't be able to keep up in a group.
Oh, yeah, that's most people's worry.
But I think everyone is exercising at their own level.
Yeah.
And I think that's why anyone can join the group.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of people have that fear. But I always say to people, I think 90, even 95% of the class have a quirk in some way that it has to be adapted to them. So you're, everybody has something that we need to do for them.
Yep.
How have you found, since you've been we're 6 months into regular exercise, how have you found that it's helped you?
I definitely feel stronger and fitter, and I feel like perhaps before there might have been family outdoor activities or adventure activities that I might have been nervous to join in on because I really wasn't fit enough. And now I'm up for the next challenge, and I'm not going to miss any of those activities. That's because so cool. I feel like I'm fit enough and healthy enough that I should be able to do any of it. Yeah, because even you brought your daughter when she was visiting. Yes.
Yeah.
She loved it as well.
Yeah. But you could more than keep up with her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's such a cool, thing. Yeah, to feel that way. How else has it helped you? So it's helped you being more active. Has it? How has it helped you with stress and things like that? Has it benefited you?
Yeah, definitely. And I think I'm kind of seeing now my gym time is almost like my me time.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm doing something for myself.
Yeah.
And I think that's good for mental health as well.
Yeah. And it's good, I think lots of mums struggle to do that, put themselves first.
Yeah.
And to see that it's actually okay to do that.
Yeah.
So you've also completed a few weeks ago the Little Black Dress project. So I know that you were not sure when we first started. You were unsure whether to join or not to join. So what were your thoughts about that, about joining?
So I guess the reason I joined in was I just wanted to better sort of kickstart some weight loss. And I felt like there was definitely some components that I could see from the outside that I thought I could learn from.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that really made the difference was actually a personal invitation to say, you should maybe think about doing this, because that made me feel like, perhaps I'm the right person to do it, or perhaps this is the right timing to do it.
For you,
So that definitely made a little difference to me actually deciding to go ahead.
Yeah. And so you were unsure whether to start or not, and then you did make the choice to start. And so how did you find the Little Black Dress?
I loved it actually. So there was so much good about it. Everything from the fact that because you're working with a smaller group, I actually got to know some other gym members better than I would have if I'd just come to classes. Because we had those live sessions and a little bit of personal sharing, not over amounts, but I just felt like I kind of got to know people a bit better. And I guess even if that was the only benefit, I think that's still a good thing to happen. I felt like there wasn't just a course to be run, that you were genuinely invested in people's well-being and their progress, and how maybe you could help them along their life journey even better. And so it felt like a very genuine and committed program to be in. So I really did love it.
Yeah. And what did you learn about yourself during? I think I remember you saying, were you surprised that once you started it, did you find it was different to what you thought?
Yeah, I guess I always thought it was going to be more about diet and exercise. But there were definitely a lot more components to it than that. And probably some of the big benefits were just learning about the effect or the potential effect of sleep on well-being and weight loss. And also stress management skills. And I think that's something, even if you're not going for weight loss, stress management is something that everybody needs, and so there were lots of tools for that as well. And also the fact that the toolbox of videos and information is there forever, and you have access, long-term access to it. So there wasn't pressure. If you didn't get through everything in 1 week, then those resources were going to be there for you ongoing.
Because I think as well, when you listen to things, you know, like you listen to it again, you know, you sometimes pick up something different to what you... I know I've listened to videos and I'm like, oh, I didn't hear that the first time. It just depends what you're listening to. So what did you learn about yourself during the Little Black Dress?
I guess the biggest challenges for me were in that sleep department. And in just, I've always just loved going to bed late and being a night owl.
I remember being shocked when you said you go to bed at 1. Only because I'm like 9 o'clock and I was like, 1 o'clock, oh my God.
I just have always been a night owl. But I have definitely challenged myself through that program and since then to try to make a change to that. It's tricky to make that change, but I'm still working on it. So that's probably one of the big things. I also learned how to track food, so I had never ever done that. Had no idea how many calories I was eating a day, or even where those calories were coming from. And so that was a skill I learned.
It's such a good thing to learn. I think it just gives you information. Do you look at food differently now?
Yes. Yes, I do have a greater understanding. So definitely.
I think you can just make a more informed choice. That's why I feel like if you understand your food in that way, like understand like, oh, you know, a full avocado gives me this, you know, maybe I only actually need a quarter. And then you eat a quarter and you're like, oh, actually, I am satisfied. I didn't need, you know, or balance out the rest of the day. I just feel like it's a skill everybody should.
So that was definitely a skill. Also, like, just your daily movement. So I had never really taken any notice of how many steps I did. Which turned out to be, before that, you know, maybe 4,000 to 4,500 steps a day. And so the challenge in Little Black Dress is to do 12,000 a day. So I had to really step up my game. But I actually enjoyed doing that, and I want to keep going with that. So even if it was just learning, so how was I moving, or how much was I moving, and challenging yourself to move more, even if it's just walking.
Because didn't you set something up? Didn't you set up a thing in your lounge room as well?
I did.
So that's amazing that you, I think, you know, you realised you weren't. Well, remember you couldn't believe the information coming from your watch.
Yes, I know that it was tracking things I didn't even know about.
It's all good data to work with, just to have some information. But you actually went and set you had an exercise thing that you set up in your if you couldn't make your steps, which I think that's amazing. How have you been able to stick to things since the Little Black Dress project has ended?
So obviously life's challenging and things get in the way, so I haven't stuck to every single little thing. But I do think that I have greater awareness, and those things are still front of mind. So even on those days where I don't hit 12,000 steps, in my mind I'm going for that. And so I think the benefits have been ongoing beyond the program's time frame, the 8-week time frame. So definitely. You
also hit the challenges during it because you were sick. You got COVID, and then you had a really bad virus after. So you were sick for like
probably half of it.
So I think. How did you deal with that? Because I guess it would be easy to give up.
But I was...
And I'm sure you probably felt like you probably wanted to give up.
But I think there were enough other benefits within the program. So the sickness meant that I maybe couldn't exercise as much, or I missed a few classes. But because the program included things like our live check-in and some Zoom webinars with you, I could still participate in those things even when I was sick, because it was from home. And so I still felt connected to the group and to the program. And I was still learning from the videos, the tools, about the sleep and the stress management and those sorts of things. So although I was sick for that time, I felt like I was still getting benefit from it.
And there has been some things that you've been able to, I think that we looked at stress management and those things, you've able to start to implement in your life, haven't you?
Definitely.
And how do you feel that things are running, like since you've been, I guess, more aware of them?
Definitely better. Even a couple of days ago, I did a little writing down on some paper to get some things out of my head that were stressing me, and I definitely slept better that night because I did do that. So that's something that's continued on.
That's so cool. That's so cool. What would you say to like anybody who is thinking about joining, I guess, Elliotts PT or the Little Black Dress, that they're kind of on the fence about it? Because I guess, like, I don't know, was it something that you put off for, not the Little Black Dress, but joining the classes?
I had not so much put it off, but I just wanted to find the right environment. Because I knew that if you just don't have that connection, then it's very easy to pay the membership and drop out. But this has just worked so well. If I don't see you, I'll ring you anyway. Ring and say, hey, I haven't seen you. So I would say just do it, join it. You have everything to gain and nothing to lose, essentially. It's a friendly environment, and I just can't think of a single reason not to. That's very cool. That's very cool. That's all the questions I kind of had. I think you've covered most things. And that's why I wanted to get you on, because I feel like you're someone that came from, never really exercising, having a busy work life, feeling, just not putting the time, and now to see that you are coming every day, you make it a priority, you're making like work, making things work around it so you can make it fit in. I think it's amazing, and I think, people can see that it's possible when it is scary to start and intimidating, because it's something new, and I know lots of people worry about not feeling fit enough. And I remember when you started, you said you weren't fit, and everyone's fitter than they think. You can, pick up heavier weights and do more things than you think you can. But it's also nice to know that you can come and work at your own pace. And there's levels on each exercise to challenge yourself. Because now you're doing burpees all the way out on the floor where we started stepping. I know someone the other day, they said that that's what they was concerned. I was like, no, there's so many levels of a burpee that you can do. And like even the other day, you were lifting heavier weights than what you've progressed quite quickly. No, I'm very happy with it. I'd be really, really proud, and that's why I think more people should, if they can hear your story, because I think you are really inspiring, that you've now made, exercise a real, and like you were walking, you were actually starting to enjoy, like getting your steps up and enjoy, you were challenging yourself with walking up the hill and everything. I think it's amazing. So thank you very much for coming and sharing your story, because it's nice for people to hear it from somebody that's been through it all. And thank you. Awesome. Thanks for listening to the Elliotts PT podcast. I hope you have been able to find this information of use to you. If you know someone who might enjoy this podcast, please share it with them. And ensure that you subscribe so you can be the first to know when new podcasts are released. If you have the time to leave a 5-star review, that would be amazing, and it would be greatly appreciated. If you do so, please screenshot and share onto any of our socials and tag us. Then email the screenshot to hello@elliottspt.com, and we will send you a free gift to your inbox. Thanks so much. Have an amazing day. Speak soon.